Welcome, folks. Today, the topic of interest is ways to improve your mental health. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this video is because 90% of the problems that you face in your life will be influenced by your mentality and by what goes on up here. Okay, and when I'm talking about your mentality and your mental health, the two components do this. So the first component, of course, of mentality is, of course, your mental health. So the health of your mind. Has it been managed? Have you been taking care of it? The second component of this is like the belief systems that a person has. So the way that they view themselves, what they believe that they are worthy of, because normally what a person feels that they're worthy and deserving of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that's how your life turns out. Now, before we can start doing all the deep work and start, working on beliefs and getting somebody to shift long term, we have to get the mental health, the state of their mind to an equilibrium where we can begin to do something. And normally when I talk about mental health and I say the problem is mental health and we need to work on it, most people think that this doesn't apply to them. They think mental health, not me. And I can tell you that from experience, because I was this person. So I remember I had a coach who was trying to get me these things I'm going to be sharing with you in this video to do them. And I wouldn't do, for the first few weeks, I wouldn't do them because I didn't think I need them. So I was like, Coach, I'm blessed. I'm prosperous. I don't need any of this. But you realize that when you start doing these the practice I'm going to share with you, it's going to improve your mental health. You start functioning at a higher level than you are already. Many of us aren't even functioning because the mental health is not addressed. Now, when we're talking about mental health, one thing that I really want to stress and I want to give you the expectation to manage is that the status of your mental health, the health of your mind is something that you're going to continuously have to work on. So it's not something that you just do one time and then it's like, I'm healthy for life. You don't go to the gym one time and then, you have rock hard abs forever. You have to continuously work at it. Now, if you're in a position where your mental health has been poor for a considerable amount of time, it's going to be unreasonable for you to expect that, my mental health just improves in just one day. This is something that you're going to have to continuously do. And if you stick at this long, you'll notice a difference normally within a week or two. If you're consistent, you'll see the massive difference and you see a massive shift. Now, let's begin. What's the idea I'm proposing to you today to improve your mental health? I'm proposing the idea of journaling. So I'm going to teach you how to journal and journal effectively. So the three components to the journaling that I desire you to do and to follow on a day-to-day basis. So you can select what time of the day you do this. I normally advise doing this in the morning, but that's up to viewers' discretion. So when I'm talking about journaling, there's one component of journaling to begin with that I want you guys to get into the habit of doing, and that is writing down how you feel on a consistent basis. So maybe in the morning or maybe in the evening, at the end of your day, you go into your journal and then you write how you feel. So you can say, today I felt this and this and this. This really excited me. This really bothered me. Now, the reason why I think it's so important to write down how you feel is because, one, it gives you a good source of data. So when you've got all this data and you've written down, you start noticing patterns in your life. You start noticing that, man, I feel miserable when I'm with Sally. Sally just brings me down. Right? I feel great when I'm hanging out with, Jim and the guys. I feel fantastic when I go here. I feel terrible when I do this. I feel terrible when I do this. And you start to notice habits in your behavior as well. Habits in your behavior. You start noticing, when I behave like this, or when I sacrifice my needs, or I feel this way, or I tend to sacrifice my needs when I'm hanging out with these people. All this is valuable information. And with this valuable information, you're able to make improvements, because what isn't measured doesn't get improved. So you want to start writing down your feelings. The second thing, a second amazing thing about doing this is because it gives you a place to let off some steam. It allows you to get things off your chest, because you can be as open and honest in there. And because a lot of people don't have the type of friends where you can just speak freely with them, you can say anything and you won't be judged. Not everybody has that, so that gives you a place to let things off. Because when you carry things in you and you don't process them and you don't get them out, it's difficult to understand them. And when you don't understand them, the problem seems significantly more overwhelming. So the problems you face, when they're written down and they put it out on a piece of paper, it allows you to be able to process it and understand what the problem is, especially when you're going through hard times. So that's the first thing. Journaling your emotions, so write them down. The second component of journaling that I really want to encourage you to do is to practice writing down 5 things at the bare minimum that you're grateful for each day. Now, the reason why I'm saying writing down the things that you're grateful for is because it's going to begin to train your mind to focus on the things that you have, not the things that you don't have. So every time you go on social media, for the most part, you're bombarded with everybody showing you their best, their highlights. Everybody's having a great time. Oh, Jim just got married. Oh, Mary's engaged. Mary's having a child. We just bought our first home. Right? Everybody's is showing you the highlight reels. And when everybody's showing you their highlight reels, and you're in a position or you're in a place of life where you feel like, man, I'm not progressing, things aren't going right, there's a tendency for you to naturally start focusing on the things that you don't have. Then you start thinking about your life is crummy and you feel like you suck. That's not going to help you. What you want to start doing is focusing on the things that you do have. Because when you focus on the things that you do have, you begin to feel more grateful, you begin to feel more happy. And when you feel more grateful and you feel more happy, you tend to attract more of those things. That energy attracts more of those things to your life. But if you're always miserable and focusing on things that you don't have, you'll just be miserable on a day-to-day basis. So it's going to teach you to focus and appreciate the things that you do have, because you probably do have a lot of things going for you that you're not always consciously aware of. So 5 things that you're grateful for each day. The next component of journaling that I really want you guys to get into the habit of doing is documenting your wins. So documenting all your victories, because it gives you the confidence. And I can tell you guys, earlier this week at the time I was doing this recording, I had a really rough day, man. And I was thinking, man, this sucks. I was thinking, man, I'm trash, I suck. Then I went into my little journal and I looked at my wins, and I was thinking, I'm the best, I'm the king. I was looking at all my little wins, all the the PBs I made in the gym, and I started smiling, and I just thinking, I'm the greatest, right? It gives you that confidence. When you look at all your wins, you think, you know what? I can handle the challenges that life is going to bring to me. I can get through this tough spot. And the win doesn't have to be something significant. It doesn't have to mean like, you won an Olympic medal. It could be just that you got out of bed without setting your alarm, or you got out of bed without snoozing your alarm, or you hit a PR in the gym, or you said no to the biscuits at work that Cindy baked. You had some self-discipline. Whatever the win is, you document it and you write it down. Because those wins are what's going to give you the self-confidence, the belief to do more in the future. So you want to do that. So those are the 3 components of journaling that I really want to encourage you guys to get into the habit of doing, because it will transform your life. These 3 things. So like I said, 1, writing down your emotions on a consistent basis so you get some information. You started studying the habits of your life. Number 2, writing down what you're grateful for. It's going to make a massive difference to you. And number 3, documenting your wins, documenting your victories. That's the video done. Peace and love.